For this video, I'm going to talk about the book Belief in God in the Age of Science by John Polkinghorne. This book here. I made a video of this book because if I show it, the words will be backwards on this camera. And here's another image of the book. This one is from Amazon, obviously. Just gives you a better view of the book, that's all. Polkinghorne's main goal of this book is to show how science and faith are not enemies. They can actually work together. These are 5 points the author wants to make. 1. Science and faith can be partners. Polkinghorne states that science tells us how the universe works, like gravity or evolution, and faith tells us why it works. This idea of science and faith being complementary runs throughout the book. Later chapters dive into specific topics like how God might interact with the world or how the Bible and science can both be true. But the core message is still the same. Science and faith can work together to give us a fuller picture of life itself. 2. The universe has a purpose. Polkinghorne's belief is that the universe is designed with a purpose by a divine mind, what he calls the mind of God. This is a thread that goes throughout the whole book. In chapter 1, he points to the universe's fine-tuning, the anthropic principle, and its rational beauty as clues to this purpose. Later, he explores how this purpose aligns with Christian ideas, like creation and redemption, showing that the universe's story isn't random but meaningful. 3. Freedom and suffering. The idea that God gave the universe the freedom to create itself, leading to both creativity and suffering, is a big theme in chapter 1 and the book as a whole. Polkinghorne revisits this in later chapters, especially when discussing how God acts in the world, like in chapter 2, and how suffering fits into a divine plan in chapter 5. He consistently argues that a free world, even with pain, is better than a controlled one because it allows for growth and love. 4. Hope beyond the physical. Chapter 1 ends with a focus on hope, specifically the Christian belief that God will redeem everything, fixing suffering and fulfilling creation's potential. This hope is a recurring theme in the book, especially in chapter 4, where Polkinghorne talks about the end of the universe and God's promise of a new creation. He wants the readers to see that faith offers a bigger picture than what science alone can tell. 5. A new way to talk about God. Polkinghorne introduces a new theology in chapter 1, which looks at the universe's big picture, its order, life, beauty, and values, to suggest God's existence rather than using old proofs. This approach continues throughout the book, where he dives into quantum physics and human experiences that point to God in a modern scientific age. In conclusion, the whole book builds on chapter 1's solid foundation, diving deeper into how science and faith can fit together. Polkinghorne uses his background as a physicist and priest to tackle tough questions like, how does God act in a world that follows scientific laws? How do we understand the Bible in light of science? What does the universe's future mean for our faith? He keeps coming back to the idea that the universe is a purposeful creation designed by a loving God to give it freedom, and that faith offers hope for a future where everything is right. You don't have to choose between science and God. Both of them tell us there's something true about the universe. Science shows us how the universe works, the mechanics of it, and faith tells us that there's a bigger picture, something greater out there.